Heyo, Quinn Johnson here, aka Quinn Jitsu from the Toy Box community team. I'm here with another fantabulous tutorial for Disney Infinity 2.0's Toy Box. Today I'm going to be showing you the new and improved counter under the Creativitoys category. And many of you may be familiar with this tool from Disney Infinity 1.0, but let me tell you, this time there's a lot more sleek and sassy features. So let's cover the basics first. You can connect the counter to any other Creativitoy, and it will keep track of whatever you tell it to do. So just for example, I'm going to connect this collectible tracker, and I'm going to say, and actually I already did it. So we're going to say when a collectible is picked up, it's going to increment the counter by 1, basically make the points go up by 1. You can also notice here that if I wanted the points to go down, so every time you do something it makes the counter go down, I can do decrement. And you can do that up to 10 points, either decrement or increment. So pretty cool there. You also notice that under the properties of the counter, I can specify if the visible display is on or off. So right now it's on, so you'll see that because I set it so when I picked up a collectible it would increment the score by 1. You can see that my score is going up by 1, and you'll see that the display is visible right at the top there. So if I go back into properties and I turn that visible display off, then when I pick up more capsules you'll see it doesn't show the counter. But if I go back and turn them back on, turn the counter back on to be visible, then I've still been getting points even if it hasn't shown it. So really, really nice. Now let's say here that I want my game to go until 5 points. Or let's say 6 points because I'm already at 5. So let's say they want the target count to be 6. Basically that means is when I hit the target count, I can make something happen by going to new logic connection and say target reach. So the target, which is 6, and I'm going to say that when I hit 6 points, I'm going to make fireworks go off with this party cannon. So let's check this out. So I should be able to get one more to get 6 points. Boom, there goes my fireworks. So really, really cool. And you'll notice too that if I am actually going decrementing points and I'm trying to get to 0, then I can do logic that says when 0 is reached, make this certain thing happen. Really, really nice. You'll see too that I can say count change, so it doesn't matter if the points go up or down at all. If the count changes at all, then I can make logic happen by selecting count changed. Another nice thing you can do here is I can set up logic. So let's just say when I hit this trigger and it's stepped on by any, then I can actually reset my counter going into the logic here. So let's do that real quick and set us down to 0 again. Bam, there goes the 0. So really cool. So obviously there's a ton of different options you can do, a ton of different ways you can use the counter for whatever type of game or mission you're trying to put together. So there's a couple other new options that I want to show off real quick. You'll see here that under the logic, there's one down here because it says iteration cycle. So if you're like me, I had no idea what the heck that meant the first time. Basically that means whatever my counter is at, I can make logic happen that number of times. So I'm going to hook it up. I'm going to say iteration cycled. I'm going to hook it up to the sound effects toy. I'm going to go down and I want to hear some cow moos. So let's go ahead and do that. So right now you'll note that my counter is currently sitting at 1, 2, 3. So say I'm at 3 and my counter right now. Basically what that means is when I'm going to hook up logic with this button. I'm going to say when this button is pressed, hook it up to my counter, and I'm going to say iterate with your current count. So that links up to the iteration cycle. So now that means that when I hit this button, it's going to do the cow moo how many ever times I have set on my counter currently. So there you go, it's playing right there. Awesome. Okay, so that's really nice. You can use that for all sorts of things to make certain logic reactions happen as many ever times as you have on the counter by using the iteration cycle. So one other last cool thing I want to show with the counter, let's say that after I go through the iteration cycle and it goes through that logic, the number of times that I have on the counter, I want something else to happen. I want one more last logic to be triggered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I'm going to go down here in my logic and I'm going to say when the iteration process is completed, basically when the iteration cycle is done playing how many ever times I have on the counter, it's going to complete the iteration process. And when that happens, I want to finish things off with one more logic firing off. And this time I'm going to have it end with a cat meow. Bam. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. It's going to go through all the cow moves for the number of times that I set on the counter. then it's going to end with a cow. A cat meow. Cool, so there you have it. That's the counter. Just go crazy with it, and you'll be able to do all sorts of amazing things in your Disney Infinity 2.0 toy box. Cool, talk at you later.